Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my husband and I are expecting our first baby in a few months.
Yay!
And yes, thank you. We are renting in Los Angeles, and our mother-in-law, his mom, currently lives with us. So I'm just going to preface with that. My husband's grandma has offered to buy her daughter, so my husband's mother, a house in our name so that she is not docked by her unpaid debts from the IRS. And so my question is this relationally wise? I love my mother-in-law. She's incredible. And if it is, what do we need to have on paper to kind of help sort this situation out where it's not unwise for us later on?
So you're not going to live in the house?
We are. So she'd buy it in our name, and we would live in the house, and the mother-in-law would live with us.
Mm-hmm.
Is she in poor health?
She's not in poor health.
Okay.
But this is an ongoing, you're going to take care of her for the rest of her life, though? She'd live with you forever?
My husband and I agreed that would probably be the case, yes.
Why?
A handful of things. Honestly, I love her. She's the best woman in the world.
That's different than living with them.
Yes, she currently lives with us right now.
I know that.
So
Why does this lady need to live with someone else for the rest of her life? Because it sounds like she's like, what, in her 50s or 60s?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is she got issues of some kind, or?
Yeah, so she has a lot of unpaid debts, and so Grandma is trying to take care of her by providing a home.
Is she not working?
No, that's not my question. My question is, why does she need to live with someone else like you the rest of her life?
I guess she doesn't have to. I guess we would choose to.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, if Grandma buys this house for her, you're going to be stuck with this forever.
No.
Otherwise, you move out.
No, it's in her name. It's in Sarah's name.
But the expectation is that you take care of his mom.
Yes.
Okay, how old is your mother-in-law?
55.
55. Does she work?
Yes.
Why the hesitation? It doesn't sound like not much.
She door dashes. So
she's what?
No.
She does DoorDash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Delivers
so
food.
Why does a 55-year-old woman not have a sustaining job to earn money to pay back her debts?
She did, and then she lost her job.
Okay. How long ago?
In September.
Why did she lose the job?
The company changed the structure of the model.
Okay. Why did a 55-year-old since September not gone and gotten gainfully employed if she has a bunch of debt?
That is separate from me.
What does that mean?
Separate from me.
What does that mean?
I see that she is working DoorDash, and she's trying her best right now. So, and she's going through a divorce. So
she's going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's an interesting piece of information we didn't have 5 minutes ago. Okay. No, I would not do this for two reasons. One is it is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. It is not good for your mother-in-law. Your mother-in-law, as she is going through this divorce, needs to recover from the grief of the ending of the marriage and heal and go stand on her own and have a career and have what's known as a life, not hiding at her son's house from reality because she went through a nasty divorce and never re-engages in society again. If you don't work since September and you're doing DoorDash and you're 55 and you're capable, there's a problem. Okay? That's a problem. It's not good for her. Her having the dignity of building a sustainable life and working her way through the debt. How much debt does she have, by the way?
Close to $1 million.
Okay. How did she get $1 million in debt?
I don't ask questions. That's the one where
Well, these are questions you should know. Okay, so no, you should not do this. You are tying yourself to people you don't ask questions about permanently, and you are taking away her reasons for getting back on her own feet. This is not good. It is not healthy. Secondly, the whole reason to do this is to deceive. Your grandmother is teaming up with your grandmother-in-law is teaming up with her daughter and using you guys to deceive the people that she owes. This is deception, and I'm not going to participate in that. It's a lack of integrity. It's unethical.
Oh.
So
there's a lot more underneath the surface.
Sarah, there's just so much going on here that you're not talking about or you don't know, and it's really, really scary. There's a line of crazy running through this conversation. And for your all's sake, for her sake, she's got to get back up on her feet. She's got to deal with this, what's going on. And I don't know if she's going to end up with $1 million in debt. I'm thinking, I'm just going to, we let her go, but I'm because she doesn't know anyway. But I'm guessing the ex-husband has maybe a bunch of unpaid IRS debt, and maybe this lady had nothing to do with his business failure, and she probably can get rid of all of that using innocent spouse provisions and so forth. And I'm guessing that if he ran up a bunch of debt in the divorce court, even if it is somewhat in her name, I got a feeling she didn't buy purses.
Yeah,
to
I don't
get
know
to $1
how
million.
you even go $1 million.
I think there's some business weirdness with the soon-to-be ex-husband going on, melded into this. Maybe he ends up with a bunch of this debt, but instead we're just participating in this cloak of invisibility, and I don't want to participate in that. I want her to be standing there, healed, a fine 57-year-old 2 years from now, who has a wonderful career and has dignity and stands on her own and comes over and visits the daughter-in-law that loves her dearly regularly. And I think that's what I would do. And if Grandma wants to give her some money to clean up some of the debt that's left over, I got a feeling it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be $1 million as she leaves the marriage.
Buying a house for anyone
I would just use the money instead of buying a house. I'd use the money to clean up the debt.
Yeah,
that would be the ethical thing to do.
At least try to settle it. I don't know what.
If you want to give somebody money for something, but let's give somebody money to deceive, put it in somebody else's name. No.
Oh, boy.
No. Well, you don't get that on every show. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.